Hey, just find a place for these. Like an outside pocket or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you rub it, I swear to God, I'll punch you. Don't do it.
Say what?
Don't rub it.
I don't rub.
Okay, because
come on, I got class. All right, so here I am. Here we are at Mission Fitness, one of 3 gyms I train at. I would consider Mission a powerlifter's haven. Kind of takes me back to my roots in Detroit. Got some chains, heavy duty kettlebells, anything hardcore, they definitely have it here. They also host powerlifting events. And we're gonna hit some chest. I know it's Sunday, supposed to be reserved for Monday, but I like to go against the grain. I got my man Alex here today. Tell us a few things about yourself, your bodybuilding journey. What's next for you?
Hi, my name is Alex. I've been training seriously for about 8 years now. This year I'm trying to go into open again, November, Masters. I'm a little older this year, so I'm gonna try to do that. Right now I'm in a maintenance phase before we start cutting. Anytime training we run is a challenge for me, so I'm always looking for it. Trainings are very simple but very intense, so something that I really like and enjoy.
Yeah, man. So a couple things about Alex is you won't see the man without a pair of Jordans on. All right, but don't crease the shoes. I get it. You can't crease the shoes. And something he and I both have in common is we love a good, strong, manly fragrance. So you actually missed a good conversation where we were going over some things that we like that's kind of coming out now, or we actually brought with us to the gym. Just a couple background things about us. So I'll answer some questions that I've gotten frequently and also recently regarding bodybuilding and lifestyle. And I'll start off with something he said, which is intensity. And I hate to be the person that answers questions with ambiguity. And the one thing that talking about intensity kind of leads into is there is a level of ambiguity because intensity isn't something you can 100% say, there it is, right? I believe I can, but I can't tell you what to look for, right? So to me, if I had to be very concise with regards to intensity, intensity is the combination of a laser focus with the highest amount of energy all at once. That's intensity. I see a lot of people exert a lot of energy into things, but they don't have the focus. And also see people who have the focus and are very meticulous, but they don't apply it with the energy. So if you wanted to ask me what my concise definition of intensity, it's the combination of intense focus, and also the highest level of energy you can apply to a particular rep in a particular set. Very basic movements. You're not going to see anything exotic or never before seen exercises or anything like that. Rep ranges are going to be reasonable. We may have a set towards the end where, I let the reps get a little high or maybe even a little funky just to get an extra pump. But for the most part, we're going to give you guys a nice presentation of how to perform the exercises and go from there. So let's get started. A little chest and triceps. All right, so we're going to start off with what I would consider the primary building exercise that I prefer during chest, which is barbell incline. I've always felt better and stronger and connected better with barbells than dumbbells when it comes to pressing movements. I will use dumbbells, but I just feel like I get a better connection and I can lift a little bit heavier and stronger. And I always tell athletes, choose the exercises where you feel as though you can be the most engaged, it's gonna make you the most excited, and push through it. I don't want an athlete in an exercise where they're overly thinking about what they do. It should be second nature, it should be focused on the work. So we're gonna do about 3 working sets here, an unknown number of warm-up sets. We're both close to being geriatrics. So we're gonna make sure we warm up the shoulders and triceps pretty good. And see if we can get some weight on here and then move on to part 2. Get another little warm up. It should feel a lot better this second set. and then we'll start gauging how much weight we're gonna add on here. One of the things I talk about with people is controlling the eccentric. The reason that controlling the eccentric is important is, one, you can maximize the amount of growth that you can get during the set, because the set takes a little bit longer, but it's not taking longer for the sake of taking longer. Your muscles are actually under tension. The other thing is, which I think is much more important, is I'm big on mimicking rep after rep after rep. And if you're just letting that weight fly down, rep 1, 2, 3, they all could look crazy, right? So my ideal is to slow it down so I can mimic exactly what's going on from rep 1 through rep 12, as opposed to doing a damn sternum press, which I see a lot of guys do, just letting it fly, hitting their sternum, and we all know why they do it. It's an ego thing. Have I done it before in my life? Absolutely. Do I wish I had not? Yes. It causes a lot of issues with your joints, specifically your shoulders and your elbows. So when you cut that out, in the interim, you may lose a little bit of poundage, but eventually your poundages will go up and go beyond because you're using better form. And also, each rep will follow behind the other, continue to get better. Control the eccentric. Of hidden fundamentals that you may not pick up on from seeing the set that I do is, although I may forget sometimes, I'm actually a big proponent of wrapping your thumb. I feel like the harder you squeeze the bar has a dramatic effect on your ability to drive through. Second, when my feet are on the ground, they're not just laying there. I'm pushing through and I'm creating tension from the bottom of my feet all the way up to my hands. If my feet were just flopping around, I'm not strong, I'm not stable. Stability is very important when you select exercises, and I think that's something a lot of people let go by the wayside. That also plays a role in controlling your eccentric. Keep the reps pretty low here. Go for about 8. Lift up. 1, 2, 3. Before he starts his set, and this is a big issue with a lot of men in particular. For some reason, guys think they get a prize or a check in the mail for doing things like unracking the bar and not getting an adequate spot. Listen, when you guys are doing things like incline bench or flat bench, even if you can hit the weight 12 times, it doesn't hurt to have someone take the bar out to you, take that stress off your shoulder, and focus on what you need to do, okay? No one's gonna question your ego because somebody gave you a lift off, okay? Save your shoulders. 8, go, 1, 2, 3, okay. Control it. Got a little helicopter going, okay? Just a little. Yeah, so I put my headphones on here, and I get this question a lot. What do I listen to when I'm training? And it varies. I listen to a lot of motivational speaking, but I do listen to a great deal of heavy metal. Not to the degree where it's just indiscernible noise. I like to hear some lyrics, but it really gets me going. I kind of got into heavy metal workout music probably around 2013 when I started out training at World Gym in San Diego, and that's all they played. So whether I liked it or not, you know, I got used to it. So I'll turn it on. I'll probably play a little something here now just to get me going for this set. We're gonna stick with 8 reps and see where we can go with this. today. A little bit of Dorian Yates. Okay. One, two, three, up.
Yes, sir.
What is your pre-workout routine, right? So the word routine is hugely important to a bodybuilder. It pretty much is our life force. If you want to see a bodybuilder get a little grumpy or off his mark, take away his routine, right? I think most of us when we were younger, we weren't so attached to it. We just wanted to go to a gym, drink some pre-workout and move some weight around. But as you get more experienced in the game and you're trying to make the smallest, most incremental improvements to your body, every little thing counts. So what's my pre-workout routine? Well, it starts as soon as I wake up. I believe that the first thing that should hit my stomach in the morning is a liter of water. So I always start my day with a liter of water, my multivitamins, and kind of go ahead and let that ride through the system. And then I'll have my meal one, okay? And that varies throughout the year, but typically meal one seems to be my most carbohydrate dense meal. Kind of get the glycogen storage on up. And then meal two is a little smaller for me. I mean, it's still not a small meal, but it's usually something very basic, the chicken and rice, and I'll maybe have a tablespoon of almond butter and pre-workout or a cup of coffee, and then I'm ready to hit the gym. One thing I will add to a basic pre-workout is, a few sprinkles of pink sea salt, just for the pump. Again, sometimes I forget that these things aren't common knowledge, but those are the things that I like to do. So I want to make sure that I'm hydrated, and I want to make sure I have a nice amount of carbs in my system to power me through the workout. Not so much that I'm uncomfortable or I have to train through indigestion, but I want to have a nice amount to get through the workout and facilitate a really, really, really good pump. Okay?
Just put one side. Done.
Great, thank you.
That works.
1, 2, 3, beautiful. Squeeze the bar.
Yes, sir. 1, 2, 3.
We're not going to go any higher than this. It's going to be maybe not our last set here, but our last set going up. No rep count. Whatever failure is, it is. Maybe 8 reps, maybe less, maybe more. I don't know. So at this point, it's a part of the workout where spotting becomes a lot more intentional, and I need him to pay attention to everything that's going on. Stay with me throughout.
Yes, sir.
One, 2, 3.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One more.
Push, push, push. Good work. Good work. Yes, sir.
Whatever range of motion is the deepest for you, do that. At one point in my development, I was able to do that, and I can, but it feels very uncomfortable when I force it. And I've had some very minor tears, really emphasizing the stretch on that movement. And I think a lot of that's just on me not stretching as I've grown over the years. So I'm definitely a big proponent of full range of motion when you can. However, I wouldn't force it or emphasize it just for the sake of saying I have to do it, okay? So in some respects, stopping an inch above the chest is more difficult, especially if you're the type of person that's prone to bouncing. So there are some benefits to doing that, but no, there's no science behind it. I'm not more advanced than somebody else because I stopped short. It's just because there's a lot bound in here between chest and shoulders, and I just don't have the flexibility I used to. So that's the short answer. He looked at my hands, he says, why don't I shave my hands? And I told him I shaved yesterday. It's just the kind of man I am. Let's go.
We're not going to film my response.
He's just jealous because he doesn't get hair on his knuckles. That's really what it comes down to. He's like, damn, I don't have that.
I wish.
Let's go. 3. Okay.
Okay. Take your time, take your time. Same spot every time. There you go. Come on. One more.
Oh,
Push. Good.
yeah.
Good.
Fuck, he beat me. That's disappointing.
So now we're gonna pick up the pace a little bit. So what I like to do is I like to take my time and be methodical, especially with my primary builder. I wanna be able to get the most out of it. Once we reach that apex, I may have a set where I kind of go back. Not necessarily a drop set. Shit, what do we call it? When you go back a set with less weight?
Cluster?
No, that's not a cluster.
It is a cluster.
He's not helping me. A cluster set is when you stay at a weight, you rest, and you go back up. It's kind of a cluster. Some people call it a rest pause.
What you thought you said? I didn't hear.
No, you just go to a lighter weight.
Oh, later. It's a drop set.
Huh?
A drop set.
No, a drop set is when you stay in the same set and you strip the weight.
My brain
Back off set, that's the title. Thanks for helping me out.
never heard of a knockoff set in my life, bro.
You never heard what? We call this a back off set. Basically, you just back off the weights you did and perform as many reps as you can.
I can't hear no more, man.
So here, I got about 10 reps with 315, so I don't want anything less than 20. On 3.
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3.
Seven. Come on. 8. Come on. 9. Come on, one more. More. Yeah.
That's it.
Oh,
Good work. Good work.
oh, shit.
Okay. Oh.
Stay there. Rock it. Oh. Stay there. Now give me
2 and 3.
Okay.
slow down. Don't rush it.
Yes, sir. Oh.
1. Rack it. Yes. All right, let's go.
Come on. 1, 2, and 3.
One more.
Oh. Oh.
Oh my God.
So that will be a rest pause. So I got 23 reps and I don't want to leave my partner behind. So when he got hung up at 15, we just kind of broke down those last 8 into 2 sets of 4. Rest pause because you're basically continuing the set, but you're gonna pause it right there. It wouldn't be a drop set because a drop set would mean basically non-stop and I'm taking weight off. You're gonna keep the same weight, just gonna pause with a very shortened rest period, maybe 15 to 25 seconds, and then you just go back in. The rest of the workout is gonna move decidedly faster. Once you reach that apex, and he has his pump, I have my pump, I wanna keep that chest on the ropes, okay?
Oh, fuck.
This machine is not big people friendly.
You have to squeeze into it somehow. Not that I'm big, he's big, but.
15.
Okay. Okay.
My favorite, or what's the most beneficial back exercise there is. And I'm old school. And even though I don't do them as much as I used to, I have to confirm that the best exercise is the old-fashioned pull-up. You can't beat it when performed correctly. In my opinion, you're going to hit most of the back compared to any other exercise. I'm a bodybuilder. I got to be honest, this is going to trigger a lot of people. For bodybuilding purposes, I'm not a huge fan of the deadlift. I feel as though the deadlift can be performed and you can use so many different muscles primarily to move that it leaves a lot to be desired if you're trying to strictly train the back. Now, if you're trying to work and improve overall power of the entire body, yes, you want to perform the deadlift at a high level. But as a bodybuilder, again, you can hone it in and you can do different things to really isolate the erectors. However, again, I'm not as high on the deadlift as a lot of people are. I think there's an attachment to it. It's something that makes you feel more hardcore. And I'm in Mission Fitness, so it's a powerlifting gym. I don't want to get kicked out of here by speaking badly on the deadlift, but specific to bodybuilding purposes, it's not super high on the list. You're going to get a lot more out of hyperextensions.
I'm 6'3", like I don't feel that comfortable doing it. That's like my personal opinion. And also, I also got a little stronger over the years. I need a little more weight. Every time I feel more pressure in my lower back than actual any benefits I'll get out of it. So I avoid for the most part. I'll do sometime rack pulls just to work a little lower back, but deadlifts I will pretty much say avoid almost all time.
Yeah, we're in the no offense era in world right now, so we always got to add that caveat. All the way down and get a good flex. Come on. There you go. 2 more just like that. As much as you can.
Good.
1 more reset. Do it again.
Good.
Okay. So we're going to kill the exercise now. So this is a good teaching point for a lot of you guys. A lot of people are really attached to, I got to do 3 sets to 10. I got to do 4 sets to 12. And what ends up happening is you're so attached to that metric that you set the exercise order up so that you complete 4 sets, which basically means you're probably going to include 2 throwaway sets in the beginning just to ensure that you make it to 4. There's no benefit to that. Incline has already warmed up my chest, my shoulders, and my triceps. There's no reason for me to come back over here and start off with 1 plate to warm up again and do 2 more unnecessary sets just to build up to the last 2 sets. We're already warm, we do 2 working sets, mechanical failure was initiated, that's it for the exercise. Save time, keep the intensity high. Because if I go down If I go down to one plate, what happens to the intensity? Then we lose it again, then I gotta revive it. You keep going through this. I wanna keep it high the whole time. Stripping down a little bit. Not much skin, but some skin. I'm gonna do this freestanding cable, crossover. It's a lot of open space and movement here, right? And that creates a lot of avenues for people to do this correctly or incorrectly. Hopefully, when I perform this, I don't put my foot in my mouth to do it incorrectly. The point is, there's a lot of room for error, and there's also room to do this in different ways that are still effective, okay? Some people like to keep their arms pretty straight. I like to do a little bit of both. I like to bend my arms on the stretch, and then on the flex, extend my arms and bring my bicep to my pecs. So let's see if we can execute here. Even though it's super light, you have such a pump coming from the presses that just bringing your pecs together like that is gonna cause you a lot of discomfort. Lean forward, lean into it. Get 1 foot forward, 1 foot forward. No, like this here. Straighten the arms out, bicep to chest. Bend, now come straight. Good. Okay.
Go 50?
60. 60.